To err is human, to forgive, divine. Self-criticism is a double-edged sword, capable of driving both profound growth and deep despair. When balanced, it sharpens self-awareness, highlights areas for improvement, and spurs motivation to change. However, when it turns into an unrelenting inner critic, it can undermine self-worth, stifle creativity, and paralyze growth. This dynamic relationship between self-criticism and personal development is one of the most delicate aspects of spiritual growth. Hunting for your mistakes, as it relates to spiritual development, involves an intentional journey of self-awareness, acceptance, and transformation. The roots of self-criticism. Where does it come from? Self-criticism often originates from early experiences, cultural expectations, and societal pressures. Many of us grow up internalizing the voices of authority figures, parents, teachers, and peers, who may have emphasized perfection, leading to a habit of self-judgment. Over time, this critical voice becomes part of our inner dialogue, surfacing whenever we fall short of expectations. This internalization creates a default mode of harsh self-evaluation. We become hunters of our own flaws, relentlessly pursuing every perceived mistake. This behavior, while rooted in a desire for self-improvement, can easily turn toxic if not tempered with compassion. The difference between healthy self-criticism and self-sabotage. It's crucial to distinguish between constructive self-criticism and self-sabotage. Constructive self-criticism is anchored in growth. It involves reflecting on one's actions with a balanced perspective and learning from errors. This approach recognizes mistakes as stepping stones rather than dead ends. It's forward-looking, focusing on how to improve and evolve. In contrast, self-sabotaging criticism is destructive. It's punitive, often laced with shame and regret. Instead of fostering growth, it creates a cycle of self-doubt, fear, and avoidance. In this state, mistakes are not just errors in action, they become reflections of our inherent unworthiness. The paradox of perfectionism. Perfectionism is a significant driver of self-criticism. The belief that we must be flawless in everything we do sets an impossible standard. When perfectionism becomes the lens through which we evaluate ourselves, even minor imperfections are magnified. This relentless pursuit of perfection leads to chronic dissatisfaction and a constant sense of failure. In spiritual and personal growth, embracing imperfection is essential. The journey is not about becoming flawless, but rather becoming more aligned with our authentic selves. Accepting that mistakes are part of the process allows us to engage with self-criticism in a way that is both compassionate and constructive. Self-awareness, the foundation of growth. The key to transforming self-criticism into a tool for growth lies in cultivating self-awareness. Self-awareness involves recognizing not just our actions, but the underlying beliefs, emotions, and motivations driving them. It's about observing our thoughts and behaviors without immediate judgment. When we approach self-awareness with curiosity rather than condemnation, we create space for deeper understanding. Instead of reacting to mistakes with automatic self-criticism, we can pause, reflect, and gain insight into the patterns behind our actions. This awareness is the first step in shifting from destructive criticism to constructive growth. The role of compassion in growth. Compassion is the antidote to destructive self-criticism. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a friend. When we make a mistake, instead of immediately launching into self-criticism, we can practice self-compassion by acknowledging our humanity. Kristin Neff, a leading researcher in self-compassion, highlights three key elements: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness involves being gentle with ourselves rather than harsh. Common humanity reminds us that making mistakes is part of the shared human experience. Mindfulness helps us observe our thoughts and emotions without getting overwhelmed by them. Integrating compassion into self-criticism doesn't mean ignoring mistakes. Rather, it's about addressing them in a way that fosters growth rather than shame. The trap of overthinking, when reflection turns into rumination. While self-reflection is crucial for growth, it's easy to fall into the trap of rumination. Rumination involves endlessly replaying past mistakes and dwelling on what went wrong. This repetitive cycle doesn't lead to insight or growth. Instead, it deepens feelings of regret and self-blame. Breaking free from rumination requires shifting our focus from the past to the present. Techniques like mindfulness meditation, grounding exercises, and setting clear boundaries for self-reflection can help us avoid spiraling into unproductive overthinking. Embracing vulnerability, the courage to be imperfect. Brené Brown, a researcher on vulnerability and shame, emphasizes the importance of embracing our imperfections as a path to deeper connection and growth. Vulnerability involves acknowledging that we are imperfect and that making mistakes is inevitable. It requires courage to show up as we are, flaws and all, without hiding behind a facade of perfection. In the context of self-criticism, embracing vulnerability means allowing ourselves to be seen even when we are not at our best. It's about accepting that growth involves making mistakes and that our worth is not diminished by them. This mindset shift transforms self-criticism into a catalyst for deeper self-acceptance and authentic living. Reframing mistakes as opportunities. One of the most empowering shifts we can make is to reframe mistakes as opportunities for growth. Instead of viewing errors as failures, we can see them as feedback, valuable information that guides us toward better choices in the future. This perspective encourages a growth mindset, where challenges and setbacks are seen as integral to the learning process. Carol Dweck, a psychologist known for her work on mindset, distinguishes between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, mistakes are seen as proof of our limitations. In a growth mindset, they are viewed as stepping stones to mastery. Adopting a growth mindset helps us approach self-criticism with curiosity and optimism rather than fear and defeat. Balancing accountability with self-acceptance. A key aspect of healthy self-criticism is balancing accountability with self-acceptance. Accountability involves taking responsibility for our actions and being willing to learn from our mistakes. Self-acceptance means recognizing that our worth is not contingent on our performance. When we hold ourselves accountable with compassion, we create a space where growth is possible without the weight of unnecessary guilt. This balance allows us to be honest with ourselves about where we need to improve, while also acknowledging our inherent value. The power of affirmations and positive self-talk. One effective way to counteract negative self-criticism is through affirmations and positive self-talk. Affirmations are statements that reinforce positive beliefs about ourselves, helping to reprogram the subconscious mind. By consistently practicing affirmations, we can gradually shift our inner dialogue from criticism to encouragement. Examples of affirmations include, I am a work in progress, and that's okay. I learn and grow from my mistakes. I deserve compassion, even when I fall short. Positive self-talk, when combined with self-reflection, helps create a more supportive inner environment where growth and transformation can flourish. The spiritual dimension of self-forgiveness. Forgiveness is a core spiritual practice, and self-forgiveness is a crucial component of spiritual growth. Holding on to guilt and shame over past mistakes keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-judgment. True forgiveness involves releasing these burdens and allowing ourselves to move forward with a clean slate. Self-forgiveness is not about absolving ourselves of responsibility. It's about acknowledging our humanity and choosing to move forward with wisdom and grace. This act of letting go is a powerful step in the process of self-transformation, freeing us to focus on growth rather than dwelling on the past. As we navigate this path, the key lies in treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer to others. By doing so, we transform self-criticism from a source of pain into a gateway to deeper self-awareness, spiritual growth, and authentic living. As we explore the importance of self-criticism and refining our growth, it ties back to understanding what's crucial in life: individualization, attaining higher consciousness, gaining wisdom, and becoming capable. If you haven't watched that video yet, it's a perfect companion to today's topic. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future insights.